Imagine this. You're sitting at a crossroads, facing a decision that could change the entire course of your life. The choice is painful, uncomfortable, and full of sacrifice. You can take the easy route now, but trust me, the regret will haunt you forever. Or you can suffer for a while and become the person you were always meant to be. Welcome to the hard truth, the truth that will either push you to greatness or drag you down into the abyss of regret. Today we're diving into the powerful concept of suffer now or regret forever. We all face choices that demand sacrifice, discomfort, and relentless effort. But here's the reality. The pain of temporary struggle pales in comparison to the lifelong regret of what could have been. So let's talk about how you can use this principle to dominate your life and succeed where others fall short. Growth is a journey that demands much more than mere desire. It demands sacrifice. There's a reason why so few people ever reach the top, and it's because most people are simply unwilling to endure the hardship that comes with it. The truth is simple. If you're not willing to suffer a little bit now, you'll suffer a whole lot later. The choice you make in this moment in the face of discomfort and adversity will determine whether you become a person of greatness or fall into a life of mediocrity, forever wondering, what if? Think about the most successful people you know or admire, whether it's in business, sports, entertainment, or any other field. There's one undeniable truth. They didn't get there by waiting for everything to align perfectly. They didn't sit back and hope success would just fall into their laps. No, they chose to put in the hard work when it was inconvenient, when they were tired, when they were at their lowest. They chose to suffer temporarily so that they could achieve the success they now enjoy. And let's be clear here, that suffering is not an optional side effect. It's an essential part of the journey. When you choose to step into discomfort, you choose to push beyond the boundaries that most people are too afraid to cross. Most people want success, but only if it's easy. Only if they can sidestep the pain of effort, the strain of hours spent in the grind, the sweat, the sleepless nights. But if you want to achieve what others only dream about, you can't shy away from discomfort. You have to embrace it. You have to seek it out, not because it feels good, but because you know it's the only path to growth. Take a moment and reflect on the last time you pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone. When was the last time you felt that familiar burn of progress? It doesn't feel good in the moment, does it? It doesn't feel easy. It doesn't feel like something you want to repeat. But in hindsight, you can look back on those moments and know one thing for sure. That pain was worth it. It's easy to sit back and daydream about success when you're comfortable. But those who have reached the highest echelons of success didn't sit around and wait for the perfect moment. They acted when it was hard. They fought through the pain. The thing is, growth isn't supposed to feel comfortable. If you're looking for comfort, you're in the wrong place. Whether it's growing your business, getting in shape, learning a new skill, or advancing in your career, growth demands that you put in the time, energy, and effort that most people aren't willing to give. It's about pushing yourself further than you've ever gone before. It's about finding that extra ounce of energy when you feel like you're done. And it's about battling through the mental fatigue, the self-doubt, the internal voice that tells you to quit. That's the voice you need to ignore. The truth is, every single time you push through discomfort, you build mental and emotional resilience. You're training your mind to face challenges head on. You're showing yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. And when you embrace temporary pain, whether physical, mental, or emotional, you're setting yourself up for success in the long run. Because that discomfort, it's not permanent. It's a phase, a stepping stone on the way to becoming someone who operates at the highest level. Think about it like this. Every time you endure the pain, every time you push through those moments when you want to quit, you're stacking up the foundations of your future. And each of those foundations adds to your strength, your resolve, and your capacity to face even bigger challenges in the future. That's how growth works. It's cumulative. It builds on itself. Every sacrifice you make today is one less regret you'll have tomorrow. We live in a world that glorifies the easy route, the shortcut. People want to bypass the struggle and get to the reward without earning it. The rise of social media and the hustle culture has given us the illusion that success comes overnight. We see the highlight reels of people living their best lives, driving expensive cars and flashing their achievements. What you don't see, however, is the blood, sweat, and tears they've put into building that success. What you don't see is the lonely nights, the countless hours of work, the failures and the rejection they had to endure along the way. The reality is that success is not the result of luck or privilege. It's the result of consistent, focused effort, especially when the going gets tough. When others would quit, you keep going. When others would rest, you push harder. It's about choosing to suffer now when it's difficult and uncomfortable so that you can reap the rewards later. The problem is most people can't handle the discomfort long enough to experience the success they desire. They start something, feel the burn, and then quit because it doesn't feel good. They want the results, but they don't want to pay the price. If you want to avoid living a life of regret, you have to be willing to go through the temporary suffering. You have to be willing to face those tough times, knowing that each moment of discomfort is bringing you closer to your ultimate goal. It's about building mental toughness. It's about proving to yourself that you can endure anything. And once you've built that resilience, once you've proven to yourself that you can weather the storm, there's nothing that can stop you. Now, I know that suffering isn't fun. No one looks forward to pain. But the key is to shift your mindset. Instead of viewing discomfort as something to avoid, view it as a necessary part of the process. Embrace it, own it, let it become part of your story. The more you lean into the discomfort, the more you'll grow from it. The more you embrace the struggle, the stronger you'll become. And eventually you'll look back at those difficult moments and realize that they were the very things that shaped you into the person you are today. Let's face it, the easy way out never leads to greatness. You can take the path of least resistance, live a life of comfort, and settle for mediocrity. But that comes with a price. It comes with a life of regret. A life where you look back and wonder, what if I had tried harder? What if I had pushed through? What if I had embraced the pain? That's a price no one should be willing to pay. On the other hand, when you choose to suffer now, to endure the discomfort and the struggle, you're setting yourself up for a future that is unimaginable to most people. You're building a life that is filled with accomplishments, resilience, and strength. You're creating a life that you will be proud of, a life that others will envy. But more importantly, you'll be able to look back and know that you did the hard work. You didn't shy away from the pain, you embraced it, and because of that, you have no regrets. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you willing to suffer now for a future without regrets? Are you willing to endure temporary pain to build something great? The decision is in your hands. The path to greatness is never easy, but it's always worth it. Embrace the discomfort, lean into the pain, and get ready to reap the rewards of your hard work. Because if you don't, you'll live with the regret forever. The choice is yours. You can't achieve greatness overnight. It doesn't happen by chance, luck, or magic. It happens through a commitment to your long-term vision, a vision that often requires you to sacrifice immediate comfort and pleasure in exchange for something far greater down the road. This commitment isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for the people who understand that lasting success doesn't come from taking shortcuts or seeking quick wins. If you want to be extraordinary, you have to be willing to invest in the long-term payoff. And the reality is that most people don't have the stomach for that kind of sacrifice. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm. Social media, online shopping, even the way we consume information, it's all built around satisfying desires in the blink of an eye. But if you truly want to stand out from the crowd, if you want a life that's not just average but exceptional, you have to be willing to delay that instant gratification. You have to be willing to say no to the temptations that distract you from your ultimate goal. Most people don't get this. They give in to comfort because it's easy, it feels good in the moment. And the pain of the long-term vision seems too far out of reach. They think they can get by with half effort, but the truth is, it doesn't work that way. When you're committed to a long-term vision, you understand that every choice you make now either brings you closer to that vision or pushes you further away. And if you allow yourself to be swayed by the small comforts, whether it's sleeping in instead of hitting the gym, spending hours mindlessly scrolling through your phone, or avoiding the hard decisions that push you to grow, you're building a future you're going to regret. Success is built in the moments you say no to the easy road. It's built in the hours you spend grinding even when no one is watching. It's in the discipline to get up and work when everyone else is still in bed. It's about giving up things that don't serve your vision, whether that's relationships, habits, or mindsets that hold you back. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is this fundamental difference in mindset. The successful don't seek immediate rewards. They look at their future with clarity and patience. They understand that the process of getting there won't be fun all the time. There will be days when it feels like you're doing everything right, putting in the effort, but the results just aren't showing up. But that's part of the journey. That's where the true test lies. Anyone can keep going when things are easy, but the winners are the ones who keep going when the results are slow, when they can't see the progress, and when they doubt their ability to push through. You see, that's when the commitment to your long-term vision matters most, when the pain feels unbearable, when you're unsure whether the sacrifice is worth it. You have to remind yourself why you started in the first place. The vision you have for your future has to be powerful enough to push you through those moments of doubt. If your vision isn't strong enough, you'll quit the first time it gets tough. But if your vision is clear, if it's root deep in your soul, you'll keep going, even when the path is unclear and the obstacles seem insurmountable. It's essential to understand that no one else can see your vision the way you do. When you choose this path, you may have to walk it alone. Others will doubt you, criticize you, and question your decisions. And that's perfectly fine. In fact, it's a sign that you're on the right path. People who are living lives of mediocrity are afraid of your potential because it forces them to confront their own shortcomings. But you can't let their opinions dictate your course. You can't let their doubts shake your commitment to your vision. Look around you. The world is full of people who chose comfort. They chose the short-term rewards. They stayed in the relationships that didn't serve them, worked jobs they hated because it was easier, and gave up on their dreams because they were too afraid of the struggle. And what's the result? A life of mediocrity, a life of regret. They look back and wonder what could have been, but they'll never know because they never had the courage to make the tough choices in the moment when it counted most. They're stuck in a cycle of self-pity and excuses. Don't let that be you. The real question is, what's your vision worth to you? Is it worth the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices you'll have to make along the way? Because let's be clear, it's not going to be easy. There will be days when you feel like you're giving everything you have and nothing's moving forward. There will be people who tell you to give up. There will be temptations to quit and take the easy road. But in those moments, you have to make a choice. Do you want to suffer a little now, knowing that this pain will shape your future and give you everything you've ever dreamed of? Or do you want to take the easy road now, but live with the regret of never fulfilling your true potential? Your future self is waiting for you to step up. Your future self is counting on you to do the hard work today, to push through the pain, to keep your eye on the prize. Because when you reach that point, when you finally achieve what you set out to do, none of the sacrifices will matter. The late nights, the disappointments, the moments when you wanted to quit, there'll be nothing but distant memories. You'll look back and realize that it was all worth it. Every ounce of effort, every moment of suffering, it was all worth it because you built something that most people only dream about. This isn't just about success in one area of your life. This is about total transformation. When you commit to a long-term vision, you're not just working on your career or your business or your health. You're working on who you are as a person. You're building mental toughness, discipline, and resilience. You're learning how to stay focused on the bigger picture, even when it's hard to see the immediate results. You're developing a mindset that will serve you in every area of your life not just the one you're currently working on. And that's the real power of committing to a long-term vision. It creates a ripple effect. The habits you develop, the lessons you learn, and the strength you gain will impact every part of your life. You'll become a person who doesn't back down when things get tough. You'll become someone who takes action, even when others are waiting for things to be perfect. You'll become someone who understands that nothing worth having is easy, and that's exactly why you're willing to do the work. This isn't about finding shortcuts. This isn't about taking the easy route. The easy route will never lead to greatness. It will lead to complacency, mediocrity, and a life of regrets. It's about making choices today that set you up for the future you deserve. And when you ask yourself whether you want to suffer now, you choose to do the hard things, the uncomfortable things, because you know that the payoff will be worth it. Because in the end, success isn't about avoiding pain, it's about using pain as fuel. It's about taking that temporary discomfort and turning it into something powerful that propels you forward. It's about understanding that the suffering you face today is the foundation of the greatness you will experience tomorrow. The question isn't whether the journey will be hard. It will be. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to build the life you've always dreamed of? Are you willing to pay the price now so that you can live the life you deserve later? The choice is yours. Suffer now or regret forever. Make the right choice. Don't waste another day. Start building the future you want, one sacrifice at a time. You have a choice. Every single day you are presented with this choice. Do you take the easy route? Do you avoid discomfort and risk never fulfilling your true potential? Or do you choose to confront the hard truth, endure the pain, and rise above the temporary struggles in order to create a life that is beyond anything most people could ever imagine? This is the choice between suffering now or regretting forever. Most people, when faced with the discomfort of hard work, sacrifice, and persistence, choose the path of least resistance. It's natural to want to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to take the easy way out. The mind tells you, don't push yourself too hard, just take a break. But what most people fail to realize is that this so-called rest isn't a break. It's a delay of the inevitable. It's an escape from the very thing that will transform your life. What happens when you take the easy road? Nothing, absolutely nothing changes. The fear of discomfort prevents you from reaching your true potential. And years later, you'll look back and ask yourself, what happened? How did I get here? You'll be left with one crushing feeling. Regret is a silent killer. It creeps into your life unnoticed until one day it overwhelms you. You look at others who took risks, who chose the hard path, and you see the success they've achieved. The success you didn't get because you were too afraid to face the discomfort. You wanted the easy life, but all you have in the end is a life full of what-ifs and missed opportunities. It doesn't matter how much you talk yourself into believing it's okay, that the comfort zone is just fine. Regret will always be there, gnawing at you, a reminder of what could have been if you had just put in the work, faced the pain, and kept pushing forward when everyone else quit. On the other hand, there's a different kind of pain, the pain of growth, the pain of pushing past your limits, the pain that comes from doing the work when no one is watching. This pain is temporary. It's the kind of pain that burns but builds. It's the kind of pain that you feel in your muscles after a long workout, in your mind when you're working late into the night to finish that project, in your heart when you make sacrifices for the future. It's uncomfortable, yes. But the key is that this kind of pain is productive. It leads somewhere. It's building your future, one difficult decision at a time. You have to ask yourself, do you want the pain that fades, but fades into mediocrity, or the pain that builds, grows, and transforms you into someone who is unstoppable? Do you want to be the person who at the end of their life is filled with regret for all the things they could have done? Or do you want to be the person who looks back with pride, knowing that they sacrificed, they endured, and they became who they were meant to be? When you choose to suffer now, you are building a life that transcends ordinary existence. It is a life of someone who refuses to settle for mediocrity, When you choose to suffer for the things that matter, you are not just working on your career or your business or your body, you are building your character. You are choosing to define yourself rather than letting life's circumstances define you. When you choose the path of temporary discomfort, you gain resilience. You become unshakable. While others are still sleeping, still waiting for the perfect moment, still hiding from their fear, you are out there grinding, getting better, learning, growing, adapting. You are no longer afraid of failure because failure is just part of the journey. It's part of the process that teaches you the most valuable lessons. You know that success doesn't come overnight. It comes from the years of grinding, of suffering, and of pushing yourself beyond what you thought possible. This is the reality of success. There is no shortcut. There is no way to bypass the suffering. People who claim success is easy, that you can make it big overnight without putting in the work, are lying. They've either never faced real adversity or they've never experienced true success themselves. Because the truth is, the more you endure, the greater your ability to achieve what others can't. You build the strength to weather storms, to face challenges head on, to push through the hard times with the knowledge that it's all worth it. You will emerge stronger, more confident, more capable, and over time you will realize that the suffering, though intense in the moment, wasn't suffering at all. It was training. It was the crucible that forged your future. You have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you want it badly enough to suffer for it? To say no to the temptations of instant gratification, to say yes to the pain of doing what others aren't willing to do? Do you have the strength, the commitment, the mindset to suffer now for the glory of later? Because here's the ugly truth that most people refuse to acknowledge. If you don't choose to suffer now, if you choose comfort over growth, you will live a life of regret. You will look back at your years, at your potential, at all the opportunities you had, and wonder what could have been if you had just chosen to endure a little longer. And regret is not something that just fades away. It sticks with you. It eats at you from the inside out. It's the voice that keeps you up at night, telling you that you could have been more, done more, achieved more, and guess what? Regret doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about how many reasons you give for why you didn't do what you needed to do. It will be there whispering in your ear, reminding you that you didn't take the leap when you had the chance. You didn't put in the work when you should have. And now you're stuck with the consequences. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to live in regret. The choice is yours. You can start today. You can choose to embrace the temporary discomfort, to work harder than anyone else, to rise above the challenges, to suffer for a little while, because in the end, it will be worth it. You'll look back and know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you gave everything you had, that you didn't settle for less, and that you became the person you were meant to be. Success is not about avoiding pain. It's about embracing it, facing it head on, and using it to fuel your growth. When you choose to suffer now, you are choosing to build something extraordinary. You are choosing to create a life that most people only dream about, but never dare to achieve. So make the right choice today. Choose to suffer now, push through the pain, rise above the discomfort, and keep moving forward. The life you want is waiting on the other side of this temporary struggle. You won't regret it. You'll be proud of the person you become, the strength you develop, and the success you achieve. Don't settle for a life of regret. Choose to suffer now, and you will never have to regret forever. The time is now. Make it count.